Hello. Today, here in the course of business communication, we are learning how to speak on classification tables and visuals. So at first, let's think of what are the basic thinking operations that we will need for discussing very simple visuals and tables. They are classification, it shows us division and subdivision, so it is description, comparison and contrast, and ranking. And this very first video, we will be talking about communication, and we will be doing it on the basis of a classification table. So let's think of what a classification table is. I will be giving you the examples of the same table all the time. It shows us the types of communication: verbal, non-verbal, written, and visual. It provides the definitions, it gives the examples, and it illustrates the examples and definitions with the specific features of the types of communication. So if we look at this table, we will see that it provides categories, subcategories, and additional details. So how do we work with a visual? At first, we overview the table, then we choose the important points to speak about, and we paraphrase or transform the parts of the visual. It will be important when we talk. So, and here are the steps that we will do together with you. We will learn how to introduce the table, how to write sentences that demonstrate the relationship between the categories, how to do the more in-depth description, and how to write a conclusion. So let's start with step one. At first, we overview the table. And this is our first introductory sentence. So we see that here we can only name the main parts, the main categories of the table. Here is my example. You may try to do your own. The table given presents various types of communication and characterizes them. So here are the various types, and these are the characteristics. So step two, we need to choose the important points that we will be writing or speaking about. So, of course, our important points are the types of communication and definition, examples, and features. So we may say that for each type of communication, the definitions are provided and the examples are given. Also, examples are illustrated with particular features. You see that here we talked about that there are the types and how the types are presented in the table. So in our step three, you will give a more in-depth description that expands your general statement. Let's think it is very important to understand the relationship between the elements of this visual. So here it shows the qualities of different types of communication. It describes different types of communication. It doesn't compare, it doesn't rank, it just describes. So, and here is my sentence. Each type of communication aims at sending information to a receiver using either your voice, body language, written words, or graphic presentations. Voice is about verbal communication, body language is about nonverbal communication, written words is about written communication, and graphs or graphic presentations, it's about visual communication. So let's now, we are still at step 3, and let's try to expand the statement. Use transformations or examples. I have expanded it this way. Each type of communication aims at sending information to a receiver. For this, we may use either voice in a monologue or dialects. We may support it with body language, tone, mimics, and gestures. Also, the information can be written down in the form of articles, essay, or notes, and presented graphically in visuals. This is the expansion of a simple statement about the relations in the table. That was a simple statement, and this is how I expanded it. So finally, you see that today we're doing a very, very basic description of this classification table. So finally, provide a conclusion. You remember that in conclusion, we don't provide any new information. So we just say that to sum up, we can say that different kinds of communication help to transmit information to a receiver in various ways. We could add this. So now let's go back and see what we've done. We overviewed the table. We choose the important points to write or speak about. We did the more in-depth description. For this, we understood the relationship between the elements of the visual and expanded the statement. And finally, we provided a conclusion. So let's see what we've got. So here in red, there will be our very, very simple description of the table. So the table given presents various types of communication and characterizes them. For each type of communication, the definitions are provided and the examples are given. Also, examples are illustrated with features. Each type of communication aims at sending information to a receiver using either your voice, body language, written words, or graphic presentations. Each type of communication may use voice in a monologue or dialects. We may support it with body language, tone, mimics, or gestures. Also, the information can be written down in the form of articles, essay, or notes and presented graphically in visuals. To sum up, we can say that different kinds of communication help to transmit information to a receiver. So actually, that is all about writing and or describing the visuals. We use basic thinking operations, and today we did this classification. And so we talked about classification. So we looked at the very simple table. We tried to overview it and to provide the description of it. And finally, we provided a conclusion. Your home task will be to describe another table. This table shows the types of communication, but from a different angle. It shows us verbal communication aspects and non-verbal communication aspects. So, and the communication which may be aggressive, passive, passive-aggressive, or assertive. What you do, you overview the table, you choose the important points to write about, you think about the relationship between the elements and expand the statement, and you provide the conclusion. So, wishing you good luck and thank you. Bye. Bye.